What up, hogs? Stuff that lasagna back into the freezer and order 50 McNuggets at 2 in the morning because we are not cooking today. You guys are listening to Super Despair World, the only podcast that always tips and even lets you help yourself to one or two of our fries if you really want. It is another beautiful Friday night, probably, when you're listening to this. We know you guys are hungry, but before we eat, we gotta say a few words.
Yeah, sit around the table and say grace, because it's Super Despair World, baby, and we care about rituals and all of that type of shit. And if you really care about rituals and saying words around a table with great friends and family, join our Discord where you can have the family that you never had. I know that you're lonely out there. You're in your goon cave and you're thinking about ordering a McMeal at 3 a.m. But suppress that urge and just hop on the Discord, and there will be people there to either encourage you to do that or to steer you away into like the right way of life, I guess. But also, you should join our Patreon. You can join it for free, I guess. But like, what's the fun in that? Just also, you can send us a sinister $6 to be a part of the coolest group of people that you'll ever associate with. You will go down in the records of history as somebody who supported this amazing and illustrious podcast in its conception phase. We're still there, and we're chugging along, baby. But I mean, you have a chance to get in on the ground floor, so get the fuck in there, and then think about hopping in there, and like, instead of tipping your delivery driver, just send us $6 instead, because that's a more ethical solution to all of this. I guarantee.
Folks, we can't always be sure if God hears our prayers, but we can be sure that we receive your $6 every fucking month, and we love you guys for it. So let's dig right into this big juicy meal, this nice fresh plate of slop for the week. Dave, how do you feel about ordering food out? I feel like this is a topic near and dear to my heart, except not anymore, because I live in a place that doesn't actually get these fucking delivery apps anymore.
Yeah, so like, I mean, ordering food has always been just a staple, a mainstay of society, and it's a great time. Think about the excitement of just sitting there and saying, hey, I'm going to order some goddamn food, and I'm not going to have to do shit other than give somebody money, and then they're going to show up at my door with a fresh amount of food, and I'm going to eat it. And that's going to be awesome, right? And then like some people in Silicon Valley said, well, fuck all of this shit where you call a restaurant and order something and somebody who works there goes and delivers food. You're like, what the fuck?
Somebody that actually has like a job and a title and like an actual manager and employer that gives them money on a regular basis. No, fuck that. We need to innovate.
Yeah, we need to disrupt this broken and disgusting and terrible system that we have. And how are we going to do that? We're going to make a fucking app, baby. We're making an app. And there are plenty of these apps out there these days. There's Uber Eats, there's Grubhub, there's probably a bunch of other really fucking cool and shitty ones.
Shout out to all the Canadians. Back when I lived in the city, our local app was known as Skip the Dishes, which I've
heard of this one. Yeah,
it was all right. The last time I used it was like 2018-19, and I know prices have gone way the fuck up for all of them since then. So I'm sure it's not worth it anymore.
Yeah, is that one still around?
Probably. I don't know. Like I said, I live very rural. Fucking nobody delivers out where I live. So
I've heard of that one. It probably existed in the States as well. It's probably like folded at this point because they weren't they weren't predatory enough.
I still have
funding.
the app on my phone, and sometimes I'll accidentally tap it and it'll show me all the restaurants that have opened in my hometown since I left, and I get like a little nostalgic pain, like, oh, I could be eating Indian food right now.
Yeah, and then it tells you, sorry, they don't deliver to your area, bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I mean the greatest and the most famous of all these apps is none other than Doordash, which I'm sure you've all heard of out here in internet land. Fucking Doordash, right? Like, cool, disruptive app. There's nothing bad about that one.
Yeah, I've never used DoorDash myself. I think I have indirect experience using Grubhub. That's one of the other big ones in the US, is it?
Yeah.
Because I remember a couple years back, maybe at least 1 year ago, I don't know, it was a while back, I was playing Final Fantasy 14, and they had this like Grubhub promotional event where it was like, buy $20 of something on Grubhub and you can get this cool eat pizza emote in the game. And I was like, listen, guys, I'm a bit of a whale for this game, so I was like, fuck yeah, I want the eat pizza emote. But we don't have Grubhub where I live, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna hit up one of my friends in Texas, and I'm gonna just give them $20, and they can help themselves and give me the code or whatever. And I never got the fucking code. All of these fucking crossover promo things, it's all bullshit. It's not worth the money. I don't know. I have a bad experience with Grubhub because of that.
Goddamn Grubhub. We'll never forgive you.
Now my character will never eat pizza. This fucking game sucks, dude. I hate it.
Yeah, fuck that game and fuck Grubhub. You heard it here first, folks.
They screwed me over personally, which may be a bit of a running theme in this episode. Yeah. Speaking of delivery, though, I will say the fucking gig economy. Maybe we should say a few words about that before we get into it. I'm not under any like delusions that like delivery jobs are like perfect glamorous work or whatever. But I have distinct memories of back when I lived in the city. The only like pizza place that was like within a reasonable distance of my apartment was Pizza Hut, right? And I think Pizza Hut is mid as fuck. I think everything that's not pizza on their menu is ironically a little bit better. But because they weren't on Skip the Dishes, the app we used there, I had to just like order delivery through their own website. And the delivery guy at my local Pizza Hut, I swear to God, guys, he was like put on this earth to deliver pizzas for people. Because I remember he was this like short little like Chinese guy, and he was like weirdly enthusiastic every time he came to deliver like pizza or like breadsticks or whatever to my house. No, my apartment, I should say. I know this is gonna sound made up, but I would answer the door and he'd be like, whoa, this smells so good, man, you're gonna have a great dinner, oh wow. And I'm like, oh, thanks dude. And I would always tip him well, but it was like, I don't know, some people are just over the moon about the most unexpected lines of work, and I just never really got that with any of the people I would meet delivering for Skip the Dishes.
No, yeah, because they're disconnected from the place that they're delivering from. I actually knew a pizza delivery guy, and he was I would actually ride along with him towards the end of his shift, and then we would like go hang out afterwards. And like this guy was like he was also born to deliver pizzas, not with his like charming personality, but this dude like had the entire city memorized. He knew that there was only like 2 stoplights that you couldn't like get around. And he was busting through alleys. He was doing all sorts of crazy shit.
Oh, is he doing like the
no GPS,
the fucking like Sherlock Holmes like hand gestures, math equations on the screen, word association, just like the whole city mapped out?
you could just see like the calculations going on in his head, and I was like, wow, holy shit, man, this guy is like he's gonna get it to you right away. Like he was hustling. And like, yeah, that's what pizza delivery people should be. And I mean, like, pizza is always like the delivery centric pizza and Chinese food. They always had delivery people with them.
So
But
okay,
now,
I have the weirdest experience because I feel like even when I used Skip the Dishes, every time I would order food from like a Chinese restaurant, it was not like a regular Skip the Dishes driver. It was like the restaurant's actual delivery person. And I wondered how. I used the app. How are they? I don't know. I don't know the logistics of this, but it was just a curious thing I always noticed.
Yeah, maybe they had the option to have their own drivers instead of the gig people, which it is convenient to be able to order stuff online. Like I think that's a neat service, but when you turn it into like Uber for food, it's that's when shit starts to get a little fucky.
Yeah, I don't have any experience with Uber because we did not have it out in Vancouver a couple years ago when I lived there. I think they might have it there now. I know there were talks about like, we want to open Uber in your city around the time I was just like moving out of there. But we did have a lot of meal delivery. There was another app that I used like once, but I don't even remember the name. There's too many of these, and honestly, like, I don't think it's worth it anymore. Like maybe we can get into the gig economy thing. A lot of these things are just like they came kind of out of nowhere, and like for a time it was a really good deal because it was like backed by all this like fucking venture capital money, and it is not there anymore. The situation is different now.
Right, and I forget the term for this. It's like blitz or something like there's some term for that where it's just like all of these app companies are propped up by an insane amount of VC investment, so they can bleed money for a decade or more and give you like really, really, really low prices. Until everybody now, like Uber is synonymous with ride sharing, DoorDash is synonymous with ordering food, all this type of shit, and then they jack up the price afterwards because they're operating at a loss, like an extreme loss. And now it's like, well, we've come to collect. Now that we've ruined everything else, and to be clear, depending on where you live, and even independent of where you live, taxis pretty much everywhere fucking suck. It's just kind of the name of the game. So like when I heard of this thing called Uber, and I was like, whoa, shit, man, like cool, like you can get a ride and you don't have to deal with like the insanely expensive and annoying process of getting a taxi. That's cool. And it was for a moment, and now it's not because it's fucking insanely expensive, and DoorDash is even more ridiculous than ride sharing shit.
Yeah, I think I have a vague memory of talking about this in one of the bonus episodes, but I know back when I lived in the city, one of the things I saw in my first few months there was like a Japanese like sushi restaurant like just a block away from my apartment. I was like, I don't feel like walking over there. I'm just going to be lazy, order it on the app or whatever. And I realized that, that restaurant actually like closed a while ago, but the owner forgot to delist it from the app or something. So I made a habit of like for a couple months I would attempt to order from this restaurant on the app, and then when they'd be like, oh, sorry, we tried to reach the restaurant but nobody answered, would you like a little discount? I'd be like, fuck yeah, give me that discount. Yeah. And over a couple months I think I easily racked up like a couple $100 of like just like free like coupons or whatever from them before they actually removed that place from the list. But hey, it was worth it back then. I don't think you can really get away with that sort of thing now.
Yeah, guys, if you ever find a loophole like that, exploit the fuck out of it, because the only people you're hurting are these shitty apps and tech companies, and get as much money out of them as you possibly can. That's fine.
Yeah,
that's
for real.
good.
Like
That's
I remember,
moral.
I don't talk about my family a lot on this show, but I was talking to my uncle about that whole like scam that I pulled a couple years ago, and he's like this big like conservative chuddy sort of dipshit guy.
Yeah.
And it was like,
yeah.
Wow, you just stole a lot of money. That's theft. That's not cool. And I'm just like, I stole it from who? Fucking Peter Thiel? Like, okay, get the fuck out of here. I'm getting my like extra 10 piece of McNuggets or whatever, you know?
Yeah, and that's hilarious too, because also I'm sure if you talk to this guy at length, and I'm making an assumption here, but just because I also have like chuddy conservative uncles like that. If you talk to them about taxes for a minute, I guarantee these dudes will do anything they possibly can to like cheat on their taxes.
Absolutely. I have
no problem with that, but when you rip off some like mega corp, that's like suddenly immoral. Okay.
My uncle is so like especially cooked even by conservative standards. This has nothing to do with the episode today, but I distinctly remember he was talking on the phone. I was with my uncle. He was talking on the phone to my cousin, his son, and my cousin is like a early 20s sort of guy. He's kind of a douchey, like frat bro kind of dipshit, whatever. And my cousin was telling my uncle like, I got into a bit of a car accident. I got pulled over by a cop. I had to talk, blah, blah, blah. And my uncle was giving him this lecture about like, did you say yes, sir, and no, sir, and whatever to the police officer? Were you respectful? Yeah. And I was like, man, this I can't imagine growing up in this fucking house, dude. Okay, I have never had respect for the police. I think they are not your friends, guys. They're not out here to help and support you. Okay, just fucking. And like I said, the same thing applies to all these services. Like, if you can scam them for every penny they're worth, fucking go for it. You have my blessing.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, my thing, not to get too off on this tangent, my whole thing with the cops, and this kind of like, this is my experience around here, doing the like hardcore like yes sir dick sucking doesn't really work that well. It kind of makes you look kind of suspicious, but also don't be that guy who like rolls down your window one crack and it's like, I know my rights. Like then they're gonna fuck with you.
You have to walk
more.
A fine line, and that fine line is maybe put up the fucking Blue Lives Matter sticker on your bumper. Just to de-aggro them.
yeah. Anybody is just be normal. Just don't be weird as fuck. And it'll probably go okay. But you know, it's cops. You never know who you're dealing with.
Yeah, we never know. Although, I guess to bring it back to delivery drivers, sometimes I had this weird experience of sometimes getting to know them a little more than I would have liked. Back when I lived in college, I was a little bit of a trust fund kid. I had a lot of money from my parents that I did not work for, that I did not deserve. So I got into this bad habit for a couple of years of like just ordering food through the app like multiple times a week. And there were a couple times where it was like, oh, I feel really guilty about ordering food like 3 days in a row or something. And it would always be even worse when it's like, oh, they gave me like the same delivery driver all 3 times. Oh, this stranger now knows too much about how I live with myself. And it was always an awkward thing.
Yeah, I feel that way about going to the liquor store sometimes. It's like,
Oh, Dave.
They still ask me for my ID though, which means they don't know me that well.
I guess so. It could be. It's like, oh, Dave.
Once they're like, no, I don't need that. We know. It's just like, oh fuck, shit.
Yeah. Then you know you're in kind of deep. I had another experience with. It wasn't a meal delivery app. Where you live, do they have any of these? I don't remember what it was called. It was like a grocery delivery app or whatever.
Oh, like Instacart.
Oh, that's it. You guys have
yeah.
Instacart. Okay, we had Instacart where I live too. And like once every like week or two, I would get some groceries on Instacart. And almost every time they paired me with the most like Chad working class hero pilled fucking delivery driver I ever met. I always felt guilty about like the pain in the ass like delivery process, because I lived in an apartment and I'm like, oh, they gotta find parking, they gotta go down the steps, they gotta ring the buzzer or whatever. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna meet them in the lobby to make their job easier. And this guy who delivered my groceries for like a couple years, every time he was like, no dude, I got it handled, don't worry, I will come up to your apartment, I will use the elevator, I will take everything I can in one fucking trip. And I was like, you sure, dude? I can make this easier. And he was like, no, I like to challenge myself, carrying as many groceries in one go as I can. I'm like, all right, you were my hero. I always tip that guy really well.
Nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to work. Well, that guy wanted to do his goddamn best, delivering groceries. Which, you know what? Fuck. That's the thing. These people should be compensated fairly, and they're not with these goddamn apps.
I think one time he asked me, like, he noticed that I was buying a couple specific vegetables in one go, and was like, "Oh, you making something with this?" And I gave him a good little recipe for some stir fry that I was working on that day. So that was cool. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes you'll have these little moments where you get to know somebody in a indirect sort of way like that. And you know, what better way to learn about people indirectly than through our favorite place on the internet, reddit.com.
Oh, reddit.com. Yeah. So there's an r/Doordash, which we've perused a little bit, and Briar, you found some fucking nuggets, haven't you?
I sure have. So you informed me about this, and by the way, I feel just a little bit cheeky, like waiting until the 20-minute mark to spring it on our audience. Yeah, this is another Reddit episode.
Gotcha, bitches. You thought we were gonna be big brain. No, we're going Reddit.
You guys are invested now. You got to listen to the whole thing.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Okay. Did you have a couple threads too? I know I spent a little bit of time browsing this. I sorted by controversial to get to the heart of the matter and learn about what makes the users of r/Doordash tick, and what are their problems, what are their grievances. I wanted to get to the heart of it.
No, I was browsing just like the regular front page of it, and I thought we'd have a lot of overlapping shit, but I think you probably found some better stuff, so I'm gonna let you MC the threads, and I'll give my big brain opinions on all of these and how it relates to the hell world we currently find ourselves in.
All right, fuck yeah. I have these in no particular order. I just picked out a bunch that really stood out to me as interesting or funny, or maybe we'll have something to say about them. So this is r/Doordash. There's another subreddit specifically for the drivers. I think it's mostly people complaining about people not tipping, which, one, very fair game, fuck people who don't do that. But r/Doordash, it's a good mix of people who are both drivers and regular users, so we're getting a good hodgepodge of all the different people. So I thought, let's...
Yeah, we're seeing it from both sides, baby, both sides.
Yeah, we're right down the middle. We have no ulterior motives or politics. We just want to get both sides of the issues on this podcast.
Yes, exactly. Extreme centrists here.
Fuck yeah. So let's start off with this first thread. This is called "I Asked Out the Girl from My Order." it has the advice.
Strong start.
It has the
strong start.
It has the advice flair. So let's read this out. This person says, "It was a slow day for me up until I got a bagel catering order from our local bagel shop. Everything went smooth. Picked up order and headed out to what it seemed was a business address. I got there and parked my Corolla outside while carrying out the heavy bags of bagels to a door that seemed locked. A young lady signaled me to just leave them at the door and to head out. I almost forgot what I was doing when I saw this beautiful woman. I was starstruck for a good 3 seconds, which felt like the whole day, as I saw her walk down here in slow motion with her hair dancing in the wind. I then got out of my head and started walking back to my car. I then heard a small voice in my head say, 'It's now or never, kid. This could be the How I Met Your Mother story.' So I got the courage to walk back and ask her for her number. We now have a date at our local skating ring. Wish me luck."
That okay.
Unexpected ending, I will say.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna go real south. I mean, that is some Bukowski level writing. First and foremost,
and then everybody clapped.
I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. Her hair dancing. Oh
so,
God,
okay.
I could see.
I struggled a little bit, as I probably will with some of these posts, because there's a good few typos throughout this one and the others. But I don't know. Okay, so let me get my opinion out here. One, I don't think you should do this. I think if you're on the job, or like if somebody else is on the job, I think don't propose to them, like a little going out like that. But hey, I guess it worked out for this guy, so you know what, wishing him all the best. This was 2 years ago, so for all I know, they could be married with kids or something by now. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're like a regular at a coffee shop or something and you have a rapport with one of the baristas, like, and you're like pretty sure of it, like, sure, shoot your shot, but you do need to know that if this goes south either then or in the future, like, you're gonna have to find a new coffee shop to go to, right? Like, you can't you can't go there anymore. You're just you're making people feel uncomfortable. Just don't just be prepared for that possible eventuality. But yeah, I really want to know now. Is there a follow up in the comments?
Like, let me see. I've already.
She killed me.
I already closed that tab. But let's see. The comments. Oh, there's a link to another thread. I did not see this. Let's open this up.
All right.
A link to another thread. This thread is called "My DoorDasher Asked Me Out. Opinions?" Okay, this says...
Okay, all right.
I did not expect this. This says... So I ordered a ton of bagels to me delivered to my office the day after our Christmas party, and I set it to be handed to me since it was a catering order, and I set it for 9 a.m. He arrived at 8:50 when I was pulling up and called and said the door was locked and what he should do, and I could see him from the parking lot, so I waved at him and told him he can just leave it on the floor and head out, and I saw him walking away, but when I came up... Jesus fucking Christ, run-on sentence. Please use a period. But when I saw him come up the stairs, he was back and was like, "Hey, you're really beautiful. If you're single, I'd love to take you out." I normally don't like being hit on, but I thought it was pretty cool. He asked me to my face instead of creepily texting me on the DoorDash app later. Anyway, I gave him my number and we'll see where it goes. What do y'all think? Was it a mistake? And then edit. The other post that was posted on the subreddit is fake, guys. We are not going on a date to a skating rink, and he lives in Texas, and I'm in California. Oh, okay, this is a different thing.
Oh, but he lives in Texas. Why is
what?
Did he DoorDash bagels from Texas to California?
I don't know. I'm a little confused
like
here, but
$3,000 order.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
I was gonna say this is probably fake and written by the same person.
And that
but, like, none of that
name,
makes any sense.
And that Dasher's name, Albert Einstein.
Yeah. And everybody clapped, and my 3-year-old son recited the Gettysburg Address, and then went to MIT. And young Sheldon was actually inspired by him.
I think I saw something about this recently, not to get too into politics or whatever, but it was some post from like blue MAGA lib Twitter or whatever, and it was like, I told my 7-year-old niece that Joe Biden isn't running, and she burst into tears, but then I told her Kamala Harris is running instead, and she said, "Let's go Kamala," or some shit like that, and like then this person was like accusing people who doubted it of being like Russian bots or something in the comments.
Yeah, obviously. I think I saw that one too, and
Ruth Kwanda forever.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. That's definitely from the mind of like the fantasy realm. Shower thoughts of like the absolute like hardcore I'm with her liberal. This is definitely like just something that happens. Absolutely.
Right. Moving on to the next thread. This is kind of related, I think. Maybe. I feel like this could be relevant information for anybody who maybe wants to shoot their shot, maybe is looking for love on the app, or is open to being asked out by other people. Just a little bit of advice for how to deal with people out in the world. Are you ready for this one?
Oh, I am. I was born ready for this one.
So this thread is called "Are we allowed to carry tasers?" And this woman asks, sometimes I get taken to areas that are known for being unsafe, and I'm a young female. I just feel safer having it with me, especially with some of the Dasher horror stories that I've read. But I don't know if it's allowed since I'm, quote, working. What do we think about this?
What? Like, what do you mean? Because you're working, like... First of all, let's get it clear. Like, you're not like an employee of DoorDash if you're a DoorDasher.
No, I think technically the term is like you're a contractor or something like that.
You're an independent contractor, and they made it very clear when there was like there were proposed laws, I think, in California of all places. To kind of like give them some sorts of rights, and that shit got shut the fuck down. I'm sure there was no tech industry, gig economy lobbyists behind that one. Not at all. But
there are definitely no like nefarious forces perhaps situated in the Bay Area that would have any issues with this.
Yeah, and then on top of this, like, you're in your own personal vehicle. You're driving around, you're just doing shit as a little gig for them. Like, yeah, carry a fucking taser. I mean, I haven't heard of any really fucked up shit happening to any like delivery drivers. But I mean, I guess it's possible. Like, yeah, get a taser. Get more than taser. Get a samurai sword from the mall. Be a mall ninja.
Yeah, exactly. Study the blade while you're in between deliveries.
Yeah, that's a great thing, because I know a lot of these people. When you're door dashing, you're sitting in your car doing absolutely nothing, waiting for the next order to come in. So, yeah, I mean, you could park your car somewhere, walk out, and then just practice your slashes, your thrusts.
When I order like
parries,
I order like a dozen McNuggets on the Pony Express, I'd just love to know that my courier just like blew away like 6 hungry miners on his horseback ride over to my apartment.
Yeah, that's a world we want to live in. Yeah, when you just have a 6-shooter and you're just there's a bunch of brigands trying to get your McDonald's DoorDash meal, and they're just blowing these people away, just boom.
Yeah,
boom,
call that
boom,
a fistful of burgers.
Yeah.
The good, the bad, and the hungry.
Yeah, just fanning the gun like an old Western, just blowing down like a bunch of 15-year-olds trying to get that value meal. That's cool. That would be cool. Then I would support these apps.
Yeah, just get all these Reddit threads. Like, apparently the train that my DoorDash was being delivered on was robbed. What do I do? For everybody curious, by the way, somebody in the replies mentioned tasers are not fabulous self-defense tools from everything I've heard. The problem is that a taser doesn't knock someone out like it does in the movies. It can incapacitate as long as the electricity is applied, but after it's not shocking the attacker, they're free to continue their attack. So apparently you should look into pepper spray if it's legal, if you're that worried about your safety.
Pepper spray is cool, but you can also get the taser that shoots the like little hooks. You know what I'm talking about?
The
little barbs.
Little prongs. I know cops carry those.
Yeah, because then you can just like hold down the zapper button, and they're getting a continuous flow.
That is true. Although I think if the prongs do not stick, then
exactly,
it's a little risky. You're probably more reliable with the spray. Follow local laws, guys. We are not advocating anything illegal.
Yeah, look at ask your local police precinct what's okay to do, because we care about your local laws here. We don't advocate for any nonsense or shenanigans or tomfoolery. None of that.
Maybe a little chicanery, maybe a little malarkey, but not those other things.
Malarkey's off the table now.
It is on its way out. Listen to our bonus episodes if you want our thoughts on that.
Yeah, if you want to get the full malarkey takes.
Yeah, speaking of some malarkey takes, I think, okay, this is where we're getting spicy, this third thread. This is called I Don't Tip and Never Will.
These guys. All right,
here we go.
All right, let's hear it.
This person writes, I have used DoorDash or other food apps for a while now. I have always opted for the DoorDasher to leave the food on the porch. Zero interaction is required on your and mine's end. So why tip? I'm already paying a driver's fee using the app. They charge me a delivery fee and extra tax. I live in a state where they pay a Dashers a minimum wage. So why tip? Why are you doing exactly that? Wait, what are you doing that's going above and beyond what the app is telling you to do? Do I tip police officers for doing their job? Do I tip my doctor or a nurse? It's their job to do this. It's your job to deliver my food. You make the money from the app. And to be honest, if I tipped every order I put in, I'd stop using the app a long time ago. That means less work for Dashers. So if anything, I'm doing you a favor by not tipping and continuing to use the app. It's not my fault the company doesn't pay you what you think you're worth. If that's the case, why work for DoorDash? Just quit. The responsibility to pay for your living wages should not fall on me, the customer. Just my 2 cents. Probably an unpopular opinion.
Oh wow, there is so much to unpack from this one.
Feels
Holy
like
shit.
bait. This feels like bait to me, but I feel like it could very well be real too, because
the thing is, no, this definitely. Okay, it could be. It's a bit too nuanced, though. I really think that this definitely represents like a non-zero amount of like Redditor mindsets.
I think we should treat this one as real, because I feel like the things this person is saying, it's a lot of the same arguments I've heard people put forward with why like they justify not tipping at all anywhere. You know what I mean? So maybe we can get into it.
Okay, so first and foremost, let's be clear on this. Tipping, like expected tipping, mandatory tipping is bullshit. The whole like culture of it, the whole idea of it is fucking nonsense. Having lived in a couple of countries where tipping is not only not normal but also like kind of seen as like disrespectful, it's nice to know how much something costs, and like on top of this, and I'm talking about Korea and Japan, of course, on top of this, like the tax is included in prices, so it's just like, this is 19,000 won, so you pay 19,000 won, it's done. Like in the States, it's like, this meal is $19, but actually it's $19 plus tax and then the tip, so it's actually like not that. So none of these figures, like it's kind of like a baseline. But
I want to add to this, by the way. The thing is also with meal delivery apps in particular, the way these things work is it's not exactly a tip either, because like when you think of a tip, it's like, well, this person did a good job, so I'm going to give them a little extra because I think they offered really good service. When you use these apps, they call it a tip, but what you're really doing is it's more like a bid to get somebody to pick up your order at all, right? Because they can see they can see it.
Yeah.
You set the tip amount before you even receive any service at all, right? So that's what it really is.
Yeah. Exactly, and that's the thing with these apps is like the tip is like shown beforehand, so it's not you can't even posture this as like a reward for good service. It's just like, oh, they paid you shit, so like I'm gonna give extra money so that you actually pick up this order, which that's like a logistic failure of this app in general. But yeah, like in even Uber, as far as I know, like you tip them afterwards, which I always do, but like at least you can like tip them more if they're cool or nice, and you can tip them less if they suck.
I used Skip the Dishes, you had the option to put the tip amount in the order before you got anything, but they also, like, once you receive the thing, it would be like, do you want to rate your courier 5 stars? Do you want to give them a little extra? And it was like, yeah. I don't know. I never bothered with any of that. I would always just give them like a $5 bill in hand because like cash was more convenient. So
Yeah. I try to give them a cash tip because I don't know if they take any. I don't think they do. I don't think they take anything out of the tip. I could be wrong on that. Please correct me if I am, but I just think it's more real to hand somebody a $5 bill or whatever.
Also, I feel like, I don't know,
yeah.
maybe this wasn't my mindset at the time, but now looking back on it, I'm like, oh wow, a lot of the people who like delivered my meals were accepting these supposedly like $0 tip orders. I'm like, yeah, here, have a nice little surprise on the house. Just have some cash in hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And I try to leave cash tips, like even at restaurants and shit like that, which is because I don't know how. I know there's a lot of like shady practices with a lot of like bar and restaurant owners and shit like that. And it's just also nice to have like an actual thing that you can touch instead of like, oh yeah, this payment processor will put it into a pool that eventually gets paid out to you at some point. And anybody who works in as a bartender or server, please let me know how that works for you. I know it's different in a lot of places, but
also I will say this: when I get handed like a card reader and it's like, input the amount you would like to tip, I always feel like a fucking asshole if I don't like it's like you're watching me do this. Like, can I just like give you like a little extra, just why do we have to be so mechanistic about this thing? I don't know, it sucks.
The app is telling you like what you should tip, and it's like, well, yeah, but I mean at the same time, I don't know, people are fucking dumb about that too. So I don't really know. All right. So besides the tipping thing, like there's so much going on here. Okay. So, all right. So the other thing I was wondering, where do they live that DoorDashers get minimum wage? In based on what? Like they're not like based on like the hours that they're in the car, like the hours that they have the app active, the hours that they're like actively driving to a place.
Okay, hold on. I need to put this out here. So I was like, wouldn't it be really funny if I tried to like get to the bottom of who the fuck this person is by just like clicking on their Reddit profile? The first thing I see on their profile is a post. They have a lot of posts in Thailand tourism, r/Thailand tourism. And the first one I saw was where to find cosplay or catgirl outfits. Can I solo travel at 18? Why does everyone assume people only go to Thailand for one thing? I wonder what that one thing could be.
Okay, is this a bait account? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe
this
is like an expat passport bro, just like explaining things.
It could, yeah.
Oh god. Okay, I scrolled further. It says, I think I was tricked into doing it with a lady boy. Okay.
Okay. All right. We have to go on a tangent. Read it. Let's go.
Okay. Fuck it. We're doing it like, oh, this is a bit long, but
it's gonna be worth it.
Whatever. Okay.
This is
Well, the next few posts.
We're doing it live.
We're doing it live. Okay. Here. Yeah. Okay. I think I was tricked into doing it with a lady boy. Hear me out. I was stumbling through Pattaya one night, completely drunk and out of my mind. I then decided to go into a bar. I don't know why or how, but I was suddenly sitting at a table talking to this beautiful girl. She looked a bit off about her. Though. I wasn't sure if it was me or because I was super drunk, but I felt something was a bit ... off. I don't know, but we were talking and she was laughing at my jokes and kept pouring shots for me. After a few more drinks, I blacked out. The next thing I remember is walking down the street holding her/his hand. I went to my hotel room and the front desk clerk didn't say a word, just stared at me. I stared blankly back for a second, then walked to the elevators to my room. When we got there, she wanted to turn off the lights almost immediately. I said no, I like to do it with the lights on, but she was adamant. I asked to shower together first, but she didn't want to, so I said whatever, fuck it, I'm too drunk for this shit. Anyway, we made love all night, but now I'm thinking she was probably a ladyboy post-op due to her sketchiness of lights off, and she was always under the blanket for every position. She she also kept telling me I needed more lube, and I was surprised because none of the other bar girls I was with ever told me this. Also, and I was pretty drunk too, so I might have not noticed, but now I'm normal, and thinking back, I'm fairly confident it was an LB. Lady boy, I guess. Anybody else been in a similar situation? I tried going back to the bar the next night to confirm with my sober eye, ... But I literally cannot figure out where I went. It's as if it vanished or something. I cannot remember where I was walking, nor the name of the bar, nor her name. Also, don't drink too much to the point where you black out and can't tell if the girl is a lady boy or not. Edit. Can't ask the front desk. This was a while back, unfortunately.
Oh, my sister in Christ! You went to a brothel. It might have been a pop-up brothel.
Listen, I'm not gonna air out anybody else's business, but I have some friends who have partaken of brothels abroad, and this 100% sounds like a brothel to me.
Without question, yeah. Well, maybe not a brothel, but there's bars in Thailand where it's not a bar. It's a place you go to get a drink, and then girls talk to you, and then you do other things possibly. Yeah, and you did that, and you knew what you were doing.
The thing that tipped me off immediately was like, where was it? But we were talking, and she was laughing at my jokes and kept pouring shots for me. Okay, dude, come on.
Yes, that is the clear giveaway. That's a clear giveaway.
It's like, my dude.
Yeah, they saw you're a fucking mark. You are a mark, and I wonder how much this person paid for this experience. But I hope I hope he tipped.
Yeah, well, something got tipped, all right. Oh, okay. I'm just looking, man. This person's profile is full of questions about Thailand. We really stumbled onto some gold, but I think we should get back on topic now.
Yeah. No, absolutely. But yeah, I don't know. I've never heard of a place where the DoorDashers get minimum wage. This might be complete bullshit.
Before we get back, I just wanted to say one thing. I feel obligated to put this advice out there. Anybody, I'm not just gonna say guys, gals, non-binary pals, if you are ever at a bar and somebody's like finds you way too funny, like, be honest, you know how charismatic you are, you know how funny your jokes are. If somebody is laughing a little too much at your jokes, be careful out there, okay? Just look after yourselves.
Yeah, I will say this as somebody who's been to Thailand before. If you walk into a bar and sit down and look at the menu to order a drink, and somebody sits on your lap and tells you how handsome you are, this is not just like you're not at Lou's Bar. This is not a place to get an old fashioned, and it's not a place for a nightcap and then you go to bed. You're at a brothel. You're at a place. You're at a den of debauchery.
Yeah.
So,
now it's a lot harder if you're a podcaster like us, because people are always walking up and propositioning us. We are actually that funny, so it's a lot harder to tell when we're being like played for marks. True. But you guys don't have to worry about that. So be careful out there.
Exactly. It's for you normal folk. It's a clear indicator. But
do we have anything else to add about the guy who doesn't tip, or should we move on?
Shit, like there's probably more, but you know, we spent too much time on this guy, and now I'm thinking about his Thailand adventure. So let's move on.
Yeah, okay. I mean, he's giving out his tip in other ways that matter.
Tip your server, everybody. That's all I have to say about that.
Okay, I have another one. Okay, this one I knew immediately was I'll just read it. It says this person writes, "Food tastes like weed," and it has the complaint flair. Okay, so this person writes, "I just had the worst experience I have ever had with DoorDash. I ordered food from Chick-fil-A and everything was going smoothly. When the driver drives up to my house, I met him on the street and I walk up to his car. He rolls down the window and I see two people. The first thing I noticed, however, is the smell of marijuana. There was literal smoke coming out of the vehicle, 2 exclamation points. At this point, I was like, whatever. As long as it doesn't affect me, I am cool with it. I was wrong.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Oh, okay. Here we go. They continue. I go inside my house with the food and smell the bag. It had to be one of the worst smelling foods I have ever smelled in my entire life. Everything in the bag smelled like weed. The fries, the sandwich, the bag, the styrofoam cup. I decided to take a bite of my sandwich. That was a mistake. All caps. It tasted just how the car smelled. Oh boy, and the fries. Do not get me started. The fries were like they were a filter and sucked out all of the smoke from the car. They tasted rancid, spelled incorrectly. It was a mix of peanut oil and marijuana. I am honestly very upset. This is not Chick-fil-A's fault at all. It is honestly ridiculous how DoorDash allows drivers to have customers' food in an environment that is not even suitable for humans to sit in, let alone my food. I reported the driver and got my money back. Until DoorDash does not fix this issue with shitty drivers, I will not be ordering from them again. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
DoorDash reeling from this person's.
I have some thoughts here, but somebody took the words out of my mouth where they wrote, this is like the 4th or 5th comment down. They wrote, "And whatever, your food didn't taste like weed. You wanted it to taste like weed, so you told yourself it did so you could complain. Get the fuck out of here with that. Not saying the car didn't smell like weed, but come on, your packaged food tasted like it was infused with weed. Come on." I'm like, yeah, listen.
Yes, 100%, and it's this is like there's a bunch of posts on there, which basically comes down to like my app slave was not professional enough in handing me my Chick-fil-A or my fucking McDonald's dickhead meal. I am so livid right now. I'm literally going to I'm going to the DoorDash corporate office and I'm going to kill somebody there. This is the most traumatizing and horrible experience that I've ever had in my life. And I feel so strongly about it that I need to go on Reddit and just tell everybody how fucking bad
Yeah,
it
I need
was.
to treat r/DoorDash as if it's like the official like complaint line for like the actual company or whatever. I don't know. This sucks, dude. I gotta say, the thing. Okay, obviously we can read the story and it's bullshit, but I just read this and I look back on my own experiences. I don't think I've mentioned this on the show before, but for a couple years, I had this job where I worked on an industrial weed farm. I sat there under like the blinding fluorescent lights in a hot, humid room, like picking like buds of weed straight off the plant. And I worked like 13-hour days doing this shit. And like nobody knows better than me what the fuck weed smells like or how that smell gets into fucking everything. And I gotta say, compared to that, this did not fucking happen. The smell does not stick in your food. If it's in like a car where people are hotboxing, even if it takes them like a fucking hour to get to your house or apartment or whatever, your food's gonna be fucking fine. Okay, shut the fuck up. This is a made up story.
Yeah, like you can inundate a room or a house or a car with smoke, like for sure, but it's not. It takes a while. It takes a while.
Does the food not come in like a paper bag? That's all you need. It's gonna be fine, guys. I don't know. I feel like this is just like,
yeah.
I think my little wage slave was enjoying themselves too much on the job, and I'm gonna find a way to bitch about it.
That's exactly it. Yeah. Karen saw the window come down. It was a bunch of undesirables, people that I think that I'm better than. And then, like, yeah, they were having too good of a time. I smelled marijuana. It's not professional, okay? You have a job to do. I need my Chick-fil-A, and I need it weed-free, actually.
I order from a good Christian restaurant, and I get this weed sandwich. It made me sick. I have another story kind of in the same vein. We'll make this a quick one. It also has the complaint flair. This thread is called "Loud Music While Dashing."
No.
And they write ordered DoorDash tonight, and the first clue that they were here was that I heard their music as they pulled into my driveway. It was loud enough that it was getting picked up by my mic, and people in the chat could hear it. I was quite surprised by it. Is it worth leaving feedback on? Edit. Alright, apparently I've become old man shaking first at traffic.
Okay, first of all, you're talking about the chat.
It's like, is this like a fucking like Twitch streamer or something?
Is this a Twitch? Yeah, I'm sure this is a Twitch streamer with like 4 viewers and like, oh, chat noticed. Hey,
I'm investigating.
Guys, like,
what the fuck? It's another bunch of posts from Thailand? No, I'm just kidding. Can you imagine though?
that would be funny. But yeah, like, I mean, it's a typical like, these lesser thans. My app slave dared to play race music when they came to my suburb to drop off McDonald's slop to me while I'm doing an epic Apex Legends stream on Twitch. Like, can you believe it, chat? Like this is very disturbing.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, when I hear people playing music really fucking loud in their car, and it's like, oh, the bass is turned up so much that like you can feel it like several cars over or something. I'm like, your music is too loud. I think you're kind of an annoying person probably. But like, my interaction with this person lasts seconds. Okay, it's like, just fucking put up with it. I don't know what to tell you. If it's just your delivery driver, like, or whatever.
If like beats were cool when I was like 11. And I think if you're still doing that in 2024, you're pretty corny. Maybe like stop doing that. Like it's just fucking annoying. It's like it's like a different version of coal rolling. It's kind of just like, yeah, I'm annoying as fuck. What are you gonna do about it, bitch? And it's just like, why are you like spending like several thousands of dollars to just be annoying? Like, just get like a nice sound system for your car. But like, it doesn't bother me. Well, the beats don't. The coal rolling is just like, yeah.
I've never listened to music turned up that loudly, but I'm like, there's no way this can be an enjoyable listening experience for you, right? You're just doing this to be an asshole to other people, is what I assume.
Yeah. It's the same as coal rolling. It's just like, fuck you. You can't tell me what to do. And it's like, well, I mean, the cops can, I guess, but like, I also just don't do it. Like, I don't like, what do you get out of this?
It's just like a basic like social politeness thing, right? It's like listening to your music just like on your phone speakers or something. Like, I guess it's not illegal, but it's like, do you have to do that? I don't know.
Yeah, like what do you get out of this? I don't quite know.
I've got another thread, and this person asks, I don't know, I think this is a reasonable question. They write, this thread is called "Fake Names, Different Drivers?" ?
Oh.
And this person writes, as a woman living alone, I get so relieved when I see my DoorDash driver is also a woman, especially when it's dark and kind of late at night. Not relieved for them, I can't imagine how unsafe they must feel going to random homes at night as a woman, but you know what I mean. Except 100% of the time, quote, Heather, or, quote, Patricia, or, quote, Tyresha is a grown man? 4 question marks. What's going on? 3 question marks. Why would they do that? 2 question marks. I've seen other people complain about this, so I know it's just not me, but I just don't understand, LOL. Any DoorDash drivers here want to chime in? 3 question marks.
Okay, so, well, that is curious. I mean, my theory is that like it is a woman, and they get a guy to come dash with them, just probably because of the aforementioned like safety issues.
Yeah,
like,
I've heard this a few times.
They bring it to the door. Yeah,
like sometimes back when I would order these meals, sometimes I would see it like, oh, it's like a couple, like a girlfriend and boyfriend in the same car together. Maybe they just happen to be sharing their DoorDash app together, or maybe they're just they're both working DoorDash and just sharing the car or something. Someone else in the comments says something about like, yeah, I help my mom work DoorDash. She's disabled, so I do the like heavy lifting and walking up to the delivery things. And it's like, oh, okay, that's fine. But I wanted to share this story because there was this is a dangerously Reddit comment that I saw in the replies, and I just had to share it with you.
Okay.
Brace for maximum Reddit. This person writes, I'd advise you do a quick Google search for female serial killers. After that, I would suggest reevaluating your fears. Maybe they identify as female. Maybe they are with their spouse. Maybe they are hoping a female name will get them more tips. Maybe they are a serial killer, casing the place for a visit later. You can never know what is truly going on. If food delivery is freaking you out, I suggest not using that service. Personally, I enjoy cooking, so my view on your dilemma may be skewed by the fact that I would never use a food delivery service, except for the occasional pizza delivery, if I'm unprepared for unexpected guests and they suggest pizza.
What the fuck, dude? Like, it's such a typical comment of
why
like,
are you on r/DoorDash?
Yeah, why are you? It's just, this dude just had to chime in, just like, I actually, I don't know anything about this, and I don't use this service, but like, I'm just letting you know that I don't use this and I cook. Goodbye. It's just like it's like the. It's like the Reddit equivalent of like have you ever like looked at like an Amazon, you know how like in Amazon there's like Q&A where like people who like bought an item, people ask a question like hey, is this material waterproof or something, and people like, there's some people who will just like answer this and they're just like, I don't know, I never bought this, and it's just like what? Like, what?
Thanks for trying.
It's like Facebook boomer shit where they really think like these are like questions that are like directed specifically to them, and they're just like, stop.
I've never heard of this
messaging
product before. Your aunt has
Please
pneumonia.
remove me. Yeah, please remove me from your email list, or I will call the police. It's like, no, dude, like, yeah, that's not okay.
Some big Reddit brain genius replies to this person. They write, here's another theory, and it sounds humorous, but I'm being serious. They could have transitioned, and they could be in the middle of transitioning. Wow, okay. You solved it. Good job. Yeah, thanks, guys.
That must be a very woke Redditor, but also
I just love the just going straight to the serial killer thing. Like, did you know that women actually do crimes as well sometimes? Not all men.
Well, actually, if you look at the data,
yeah. I just wanted to share one more comment. This person writes, "We are allowed to use fake names. I am Boo B or Juicy Snotch."
If Juicy Schnotch was my DoorDash delivery person, they'd instantly get $20. No matter what, they could have stolen like half of the food in there. They're getting a solid 20 and a 5-star.
It kind of reminds me, there was a while, I think they patched this out of Skip the Dishes at some point, but I remember in the early days of the app, it would tell you not only the name of your delivery driver, but also the name of the person making your food at the restaurant. And I would often treat myself to like a pita wrap from this place called Pita Pit, which is, it's basically just like the same ingredients and shit as Subway, but like as a wrap instead of a sandwich.
Oh no, I've had Pita Pit before. Yeah, it was in my college town. I actually never thought about that until now. Yeah, it was fine.
It was pretty good. But back when the app told me the name of the person making my food, every single time I ordered from Pita Pit, it told me the person making my food was named Tippy. Like, Tippy, I've never heard of this name before, and I know nothing about this person, but I just felt this weird, like, connection, like, wow, this stranger with a bizarre name has made a rap for me, like, a dozen times over the course of a year.
No, Tippy is a nickname for girls named Tiffany.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, cool. Yeah. I did not know that.
I know this because I knew one girl named Tiffany who went by Tippy before, but I think it's kind of an old-timey thing, but like, I don't know, maybe.
Wow, gold medal for you. Thank you, kind stranger. Oh, today
yes,
I learned.
I will tip my fedora to the world.
You, sir, win the internet today.
Yeah, give me Reddit silver, motherfuckers.
Yeah, or a sinister $6.
Yeah, that's even better than Reddit silver.
Yeah, all right, let's see. What else have I got here? I got a couple more. I thought this is just a bit of a funny story. This is a bit more of a positive one. I'm going to send you a photo of this just so you can see it for yourself. But this thread is called, "Didn't get my sandwich. Had DoorDash redeliver the order. DoorDash sent me 6 redeliveries using 6 different dashers." I'm like, holy fucking shit, this person won the lottery of DoorDash that day.
Oh, shit. Wow. Fucking yeah.
Have you ever had that happen when you like order through one of these services? Did you ever like win big through like a mistake or something?
I've definitely like had some shit where like they didn't give me a sauce packet or something and I complained and then they refunded me like $12 or something.
Oh, that's, all right, that's sweet venture capital money, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's the same as Amazon. Like I told you earlier, I ordered some shit and it came like a day late, so I bitched and they refunded the entire order, which doesn't always work. But quick aside, guys, if
shoot your
Amazon
shot.
Yeah, if Amazon does not deliver on time, get on that chat app, and you could usually at least get a $5 credit for something. But this one is a fucking jackpot. Yeah, there's this one is like what?
There
1,
are
2,
6
3, 4,
bags.
5. Yeah, six Burger King orders.
Yeah, holy shit.
Yeah,
I remember I didn't win as big as this person did, but there was one time when I was ordering McDonald's at like 2 a.m. or some shit because, you know, lived in the big city. They had a 24/7 McDonald's like just down the street from me. So I ordered and they mixed up my order with somebody else's, but the person whose order I got instead ordered like 3 times as much food as I did. So I didn't even complain. I was like, fuck it, I already won. I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth, you know?
Yeah, the same thing actually happened to my nephew once. I remember he told me like he got like a Big Mac or in like a drink or like a Big Mac meal or something, and they sent him like a 40-piece McNugget, like a few burgers, like a bunch of fries, and like 2 drinks, and he was like, yeah, I'm just not saying shit.
Yeah, that's the jackpot. That's the problem for the other person who got my shit ass order instead.
Yeah, and they're probably like, I mean, it sucks for them because they probably want the food now, but at least like hopefully they got a full refund and then some.
Yeah. I have two more just like funny little things, and then we can wrap up for today. Yeah. This person says, "Oh, speaking of, spotted at a local Thai restaurant today." That's a restaurant selling Thai food, not a restaurant in Thailand, unfortunately. But
or a restaurant where you eat Thais, like Windsor not.
Yeah, I don't know anything about British food, so let's not go there.
Thank you for elevating that dad joke.
Hey, that's what I'm here for. So this is just a photo of like a paper notice somebody like printed out on the window of a restaurant. I'll share it with you. This notice says, "Thank you so much for being patient. I work by myself today. All my crew go Taylor Swift concert today. I do my best to serving you." And apparently it was like an old man or something working at us. It says, "The poor old dude was so sweet despite being completely swamped. The restaurant inside was almost completely filled and he had multiple delivery orders to go out as well. He was killing it though. Muscle emoji, fire emoji, cry laughter emoji."
All right, first of all, based Thai old man, and everybody who went to the Taylor Swift concert and left that dude on his own to run the restaurant, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck everything you stand for.
Yeah, for real.
You are a horrible person, like just straight up. Like there's no excuse for you. The kingdom of heaven will not let you in. You will be stopped at the gate.
This is Super Despair World officially waging war against the Swifties. We're declaring war just for this. You're
not going to heaven. Just if you believe in that, or even if you don't, like it exists. Heaven exists. So does hell, and you're all going there.
Yeah,
heaven is because of the plight.
Heaven
of
is
this
a place on earth, and it's the Super Despair World Patreon. So you can still redeem yourself, but you gotta pay your time.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, this is it's like what was like the Lutherans? He was Martin Luther.
Oh yeah,
was it Calvinist?
No, it was Martin Luther who like wrote the shit down and nailed it to the door of the church.
Yeah, because they you could like buy your way into heaven. Yeah. So you can't. But anyways, we're against that. You can buy your way into heaven with sinister $6.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's fine.
Yeah, call that a sanctimonious $6. All right.
You can make a different tier for that.
Yeah. I mean, you can do that. 2 identical tiers that are just reflavored, but whatever. Let's move on to this last one. I saved this for last because this is, I don't know, I'm gonna have a fun time reading this one.
I'm so.
We got a real character on our hands. This thread is called "Guy Gives Me Choices for a Tip, So I Moved Accordingly."
Okay.
And this thread is it's 3 images, and it's like the exchange of like text messages I guess you see on the DoorDash app or something. So the person fulfilling the delivery driver, they say, "Picked up your order. Headed your way. You just got the best DoorDasher in Houston. I waited 7 minutes for your order. ... Patiently ... Headed your way." The next image, they say, "This is what I like as a tip ... Your choice. Franklin, Grant, Jackson, Hamilton, Lincoln, Washington. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look at the dollar bill. LOL. See you in a bit." Then it says, "Your dasher has dropped off your order." And it says, "We have adjusted your tip from Chick-fil-A per your request. Your credit card will be charged 1 penny for the adjusted amount. We sincerely appreciate your generosity." The person on Reddit says, "First time ever having a dasher like this. I was going to tip him probably $15. Order was $18 or something because of his speed. But then he sent me this. Mr. Lincoln sends his regards." And I guess it's because like Lincoln is on the penny or something.
Yeah, Lincoln's on the penny too. I didn't even think about that.
As a non-American, this one took me a second, but this is funny as fuck, dude.
Yeah, that is fucking awesome. That is a correct response to that one. Like, absolutely. I should have read this aloud, but I'm gonna send you the first image because he actually writes, "Headed your way ... You just got the best DoorDasher R in Houston," which I guess maybe it was like a R,
maybe a voice to text something, but like
maybe it's a voice to text.
The fucking smug attitude on this, I can't believe it, man.
Yeah, and there's a way to be like cute and cheeky, but like when it's just wrapped up in like "give me money," then it's obviously just like, yeah, fuck off.
This person's like, I'm just imagining like a fucking like Steven Seagal sort of character. Like, "I'm gonna give you some choices. These are your options for how to pay me for patiently delivering your order." And it's like, come on, dude, who the fuck do you think you are?
Yeah, I mean, that's really the best one. And to reiterate for all of our non-American listeners out there, Lincoln is on the $5 bill, but he's also on the penny. So this brilliant and epic Redditor decided to give this dasher a Lincoln.
The old Reddit switcheroo
was a little penaroonie. And god damn it, I tip my fedora to you, sir.
Yeah, I don't know, like 100% you should tip your drivers like almost no matter what, unless like something really bad happens. Like, I will say, when I lived in the city, there was one time I had a delivery driver who was like an hour and a half late, and like some of the food was missing. I was like, and he was like texting me complaining about like, "Oh, gas prices. Oh, I got so much shit to do today." I'm like, that's not my problem, guy. I'm not gonna tip for this or whatever. I had another delivery driver one time when I lived back in my hometown, I used to order, this is a little shameful, but this was my dark era, right? So I was ordering food from like a 7-Eleven just because like this was the cheapest way to order like 4 packs of energy drinks at the time. And I ordered like several cases of drinks. And as the delivery driver was like handing me off the bag of drinks or whatever, he was like this older, almost like George R.R. Martin kind of looking guy. And he was like, you know, this stuff's really not good for you, right? And in my head, I was like, oh, yeah, I mean, out loud, I was like, oh, yeah, I know. Okay, thanks. But in my head, I was like, wow, fuck you, dude. That's none of your fucking business, you know?
Yeah, I think it's like a very weird and kind of like, it's kind of like a social etiquette breach to like, if you're a service where, like, if you ring people up at the grocery store or something like that, and you like negatively comment or like weirdly comment on like what somebody purchases, like like if somebody goes to the grocery store and they get like 7 quarts of ice cream and you're like, you're having a party, are you really into dairy, huh? It's like, it's just like, don't.
Yeah,
like you can say like you could say like, hey, oh, I really like this, oh, this one's fucking good, like good choice or something, like that's fine.
Yeah,
but it's like
sometimes like I'll be grocery shopping with my mom at a Walmart or something, and the cashier will comment on something she just rung up and be like, oh, this stuff's really good, or like, oh, that's a good deal.
That's
wow,
fine.
This is really
that's fine.
Yeah, you know,
yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah,
but like I will say, I don't know, maybe to be a little vulnerable, maybe to share a little bit. For most of the time when I was a kid, I was like a lot more overweight than I am nowadays. Like I grew up as a bit of a fat kid, so like I have a little bit of like a deep grained like sensitivity about people like commenting on like food or whatever when I'm just trying to enjoy myself.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's weird.
It's none of your fucking business. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, look, I respect delivery drivers. I think you guys should be paid a lot more. Honestly, in my opinion, I think these food delivery apps should honestly probably just not exist. I think these people should have like actual steady jobs delivering for a real employer. But
for the place that is sending food to you. Yeah.
But
absolutely.
if I can just put on my Karen hat for a moment, I'm just gonna go full Karen here. Your job is to deliver the food, okay? I don't need your fucking nutrition opinion about whatever the fuck I feel like eating that day, okay? Is that too much to ask? I don't know.
Exactly. Don't just shut the fuck up. Man.
Yeah, and I guess to bring it back to this guy who is like listing all the presidents on dollar bills or whatever, this is not as egregious in my opinion. I think this is not as rude as like commenting on like the nutritional value of something somebody orders, but also like, this person's a dick. You just kind of have like dick energy, so I think you had it coming if someone's gonna tip you like a penny.
It's the energy of, I don't know if you've ever been to a place like this, which I normally haven't, but have you ever been to a place with like a bathroom attendant?
No, that sounds insane. Tell me about it.
It's weird as fuck. Do you know what I'm talking about though? Where they like you take a piss and then you like wash your hands and they like hand you a towel.
Pissing all by yourself,
like,
handsome.
and they're like, would you like a breath mint or some floss or like a towel?
Oh, that's fucking weird.
Like, and it's it's usually at like higher class place, which I usually don't go to, but I've been to some higher end like casinos and like, you know, like nicer restaurants, and it's just like, dude, like it's this weird thing where they just like kind of like insert themselves into your space, and then they're just like, here, have these things, and then they're kind of like and then like hold their hand out, and it's like, I didn't want you to be here, man. I'm not gonna give you money. Like
it almost seems like a higher class version of like when you're just like stopped at a red light or something, and like a homeless guy's like,
they're washing your windshield
like,
with a fucking newspaper.
Fine. I didn't ask for that, dude, you know.
And they like make it dirtier because they're spraying like piss water and washing,
and
wiping it with like and it's just like, dude, like I'll give you like $2. Just don't.
I will give you $5 to fuck off right now.
Yeah, to just like go the fuck away, man. Like
when you first brought up the casino thing, my mind immediately went to some like like Pennyworth butler looking guy being like, wipe your ass for you, sir, just to like make sure you don't have like something up there to help you cheat at cards or whatever, you know?
Shake your dick, sir.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, honestly, the price of some of these places, it's like, okay, if you're paying that much money to get in, honestly, somebody should probably be wiping my dick off, but that's neither here nor there.
Exactly. But everybody has their hands out.
Yeah.
In all avenues with these silly fucking places, but you know, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
You know what? Speaking of wiping our dicks clean, I think that's a wrap for today. I think that's all we got for this wonderful episode. Let's clean her up. Let's wash it down. You guys want a mint?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's.
Yeah. Well, it's yeah.
Yeah. Let's give a shout out to the people who make this possible.
Yeah. So we're talking about our patrons who donate a sinister $6 or more through Patreon. If you wanna join this, once again, you could do that. Patreon.com/something. You could find it in the description. You could figure it out. You're smart. You're a smart kid. And who do we got? In no particular order, we got Braid Zero, Dimbus, Weasel, FNL, Knackles, Nick and Nilly, Heresy, Protagon, Clam, Shalom Guy, Trash Bins, Trevor Stilson, Walker, and Woke Baby. We continue to love and respect all of you throughout the trials and tribulations of getting this podcast off the ground. And we truly, honestly and sincerely appreciate all of your support. Most, if not all, of these people have been generous supporters of us for quite a while now, and it's really fucking heartening to see that you guys like our shit enough to just stay on the course. And fuck yeah, rock on. I will deliver McNuggies to you. No tip expected any day of the week.
Yeah, it really means the world to us, guys. Thanks so much for your continued support, both through money and, you know, even if you don't give us a $6 every month, just you tuning in every week to listen to us read goofy Reddit threads and learn about people's adventures in Thailand. It just means the world, and we're glad to have you on board with us. Is there anything else we want to wrap up today with?
No, I don't think so. But on that note, like, if you guys like our shit, and if you're still listening to this after all this time, consider just telling a friend, telling a loved one, tell your grandma, your grandpa, your great uncle. Yeah, just tell them to tune in to the little pod we have going on here, and yeah, that would be dope. Or don't, just continue listening yourself. I don't give a shit. We love you either way.
Yeah, the Swifties will pay in blood for what they did to that poor old man. Thanks for listening, guys. Have a great week.
Fucking A. Good fight, good night.